Good morning, traders. So we're still using the Bull-Williams theory and looking at the DAX at the moment. Now, I've left my levels in that I drew in yesterday, and you can see these two blue lines, which was the zone that I was expecting us to get some kind of a bounce in. We've sort of got it. Not a very compelling daily candle that was formed, but it is a green candle, and it is a wise man number one. Okay, so there's a couple of things going for it at the moment. It's a wise man number one. In other words, it's deviated far from the teeth, the red line. Okay, so if I draw a line along the top here, okay, and then I draw another line from the same area where we crossed, but along the alligator, you'll see this divergence here. Okay, so in other words, price is far away from the alligator. Okay, so that is wise man number one. The way to trade this would be pretty much, I'm just going to fine tune this blue line, would be pretty much a break above 10,760. And let me just delete that line. And your stop loss will be below 10,588. Okay, fairly large stop loss for the DAX, almost 200 points. But we should be able to fine tune that on the lower time frame. So this is definitely a wise man number one, but obviously we want a daily close above this level. Okay, and then that gives you potential for a swing trade. And I think, let me just use some of these other levels. The swing trade, in my mind, is really just going to be back to test the underside of this breakout. If we get through that, then it's a gap close, but we're still in a downward trend. Okay, so let's get to the 4 hour, see what happened on the 4 hour here. Okay, again, ignore this bar. It's my broker has got incorrect data here, so just focus on these things here. So what we do have so there's a few ways of looking at this. So the first one is there is a wedge. Okay, there's a wedge, and then obviously there is a bigger wedge. Okay, so that's kind of what we can see at the moment. So in other words, the green line of the Bull-Williams, which is our lips, okay, that is looking like the current trend line that we have intact. Okay, so I'm just going to get rid of that one. And let's get down to a level that we can trade. Okay, so we have a falling wedge, and the falling wedge is over 3 days. The target for the falling wedge is obviously this first level here, and that is the first breakout level. See there? So the target for the wedge is basically the first point of contact of the wedge. So that would be this previous high up here. Okay, so I trade the first inside bar, and this is the inside bar on the daily. It also coincides with the inside bar on the hour in this area here. So that's my target for the upside. There is a gap higher up, but in my experience, what will happen is if we do break this wedge and start heading up here, we'll head to this area. We will then come back and then maybe make another attempt. Okay, only concern I have right now is look at the oscillator here. We are grouped to the upside, so that is telling me with two indecision bars, we're probably going to have a bit of a move to the downside first, and what we need to watch for is a potential double bottom. Okay, I know I said it yesterday as well, which we kind of failed to get. Okay, some people do call this a double bottom, but ultimately what we're looking for is this oscillator to group back down in this level here. Okay, wanted to turn around, come back down, even halfway is fine, and then look for a long entry on the pullback. Okay, so what I am anticipating is that we are playing a double bottom here. There is a bit of divergence as well. Let me just see if it's on the 4 hour, ever so slightly on the 4 hour as well. So we have divergence inside a wedge, or gentle divergence inside a wedge. And if we look at it on the half hour, let's see what happens there. Also visible on the half hour. So it's visible on the half hour, 4 hour, and 1 hour. Okay, now again, look at the half hour. You can see indecision, indecision, indecision. So basically what's happening is you had some buyers step in here and they got out at the close, not interested in holding it overnight. So what we do want to expect to happen is just a bit of a pullback. Okay, and the area that you want to pull back to, if I use this bottom level here, you can see there's a breakout level there. Okay, so let's just pick it up off the hour. It is on the hour as well. So there's the previous low. We broke below it. We've broken up. Now I want to see a retest. Now, that level that I've just drawn in, I'll give you the value now. That's 10,655. But what we want to look at is where is that in relation to Fibonacci? It is right in between the 50 and 61.8. Okay. So this is my entry point. So what I would expect is some kind of a pullback through the day, or maybe in the morning, back to this level. If we can hold this level now, the challenge is because these bars are so big, in other words, there's so much volatility on the higher time frames, find some time through the day just to watch what's going on. Pick up a 15 or 12 minute chart. You can do a 5 as well if you want to, but to be honest with you, I would look for a 15-minute pattern or a 12-minute pattern off this level. Okay, so that's the first scenario. The other scenario is that we break through here, hit the top, bounce down to come and test the break. That would be my other entry. Okay, so those are the two entries. I think just going to go to the 30 minutes just to tidy this up. So first choice would be a pullback to this area here of 10,656. Okay. Second choice is going to be let it break through, wait for the pullback to come and test the break, which would also test the alligator. That would be my second choice. Okay. Point to add on to this will definitely be a break above 10,759, and obviously a break and a close. So if I'm looking at the half hour, I want a half hour close above this level. That gives me an entry long, and my stop is below the previous fractal, which is this area here, which is quite big. Okay, so that's going to be almost a 200-point stop loss, which is a bit big, or a bit rich for me on the DAX. Okay, so that's kind of my trade on this at the moment. Watch this very carefully because this wedge is looking like it may be playing out. We also have not much on the weekly, but we are definitely in this zone where there were buyers. Okay, so pretty much this gap here, you see, let me just zoom in, and if you have watched my video on levels, well, on the way I look at the levels, you'll notice that I always say that these gaps have a high probability of coming back to close. So the gap I'm referring to is there's the bar, there's the swing high, we then broke through it. We didn't come and test it. Okay, so there's a high probability that sometime in the future price will come back to this. And it's not to say that as soon as you think it's time, you put in a trade and you aim for this gap. You've got to wait for the change in direction, because this was a change in direction to the upside on the weekly. And you can see how many years it took. Yes, yeah, it took 2 years to come back and close that gap, but that gap is now closed. Okay, and you'll find on the lower time frames there will be there'll be a lower gap around here. So if we just 27th of November 2016. Well, we should have just put a line there. But anyway, we'll waste some time here. Those gaps always come back to close. I think that's the key thing. And you can test it for yourself, back test it, you'll see what I mean. And what you'll find is definitely on lower time frame, there will be another lower time frame gap, probably right where price got to. So in other words, somewhere along there. And the way I would do it is just to put that line in there. Make it big so we can see it. Okay, so there you see, there's my 1 hour, and it didn't quite close the 1 hour gap. There's the top of the tail there. So there it is there. When you come back to the beginning, you'll see we hit it the previous day and then back through it again. Oh, sorry, no we didn't. That was the top part. There it is there. Okay, so that is also still a gap. It's open, so there is a real possibility about it turning and coming back, testing this and creating a double bottom. Okay, so anyway, that's my view for today. I'm looking for this thing to either consolidate or pull back a bit. Pull back, maybe a 61.8 Fibonacci retracement, which would be pretty interesting because that would be within the wedge. And then watch this oscillator for it to group to the downside. And then you're looking for, so you watch for it on the hour, then pop back to a quick, to a lower time frame, and you can see tail, engulfing, entry long, and off you go. Okay, so that's my trade for today. Waiting for the pullback, and I'm expecting this wedge to play out. So I am expecting us to bounce off this level. Maybe not a turning bounce, but definitely a sizable bounce to the upside. Okay, anyway guys, that's me for today. Hope it helps, and I will catch you later. Cheers for now.